Welcome to Stuttgart Hauptbahnhof, a price class 1 station located in Baden-Württemberg in the southwest of Germany. Looks like a route map is missing. Let's go ahead and place this missing one while you wait. There are more route tasks to discover. Make sure to apply missing route maps. Eat chocolate. Collect toy cars and place posters. Follow the markers to board your waiting train. Take a seat. The train is just about to leave. Architects Paul Bonatz and Friedrich Eugen Scholer won the contract for the construction of the station in 1910, competing against 70 firms with their idea, the Navel of Swabia. Construction began in 1914 and was completed in 1928 at a cost of more than 7 million Reichsmarks. Tracks 9 to 16 opened for use in 1922, and the remaining tracks were finished in 1928. All the tracks were electrified in 1933. From 1971 to 1978, a 4-track underground station for S Bahn trains was built underneath the existing station. In 1994, the station hosted more than 80,000 passengers for regional and long-distance travel, and another 120,000 using the S Bahn platforms. Turn of the millennium traction awaits with the historic and bustling Frankenbahn. Transport freight and passengers along the winding banks of the Neckar and into Baden-Württemberg suburbia. In this training module, you'll be learning how to operate the BNRD ZF483.0 Wittenberg cab car. This formation is powered by a BR-111 locomotive at the rear of the train, which has already been set up for you. Firstly, you will need to insert the reverser handle. The reverser determines the direction of travel. While you set up the cab, set the reverser to the neutral position. Unlock the brakes with the brake key to allow braking to be controlled from this cab. For this introduction, you will be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Open the passenger doors to allow boarding. Close the doors before departure. The train is now ready to depart. Set the reverser to the forward position. Release the brakes. The throttle in this cab is a sprung ratcheted control. Moving the throttle to the run-up position will increase the selected tap in the locomotive and increase power. The hold position will maintain power at the current tap level. Moving the lever to the run-down position will decrease the selected tap. Power in this cab car is delivered through a combined tap changer and Z-control lever. This can be used as a traditional tap changer or by using the Z control to hold the taps. In this training module, you will be learning to use the tap changer. Now apply some power using the throttle. Move the throttle to the run-down position to lower the taps to 0. Moving the throttle to off before the taps are at 0 can cause damage to the motor. are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force using the driver's brake valve to bring the train to a gentle stop. Nice job! The train has safely come to a stop. You can now use the door control to open the passenger doors. Good work! That concludes all of the basics of operating this train. In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this BR-140 electric locomotive. This locomotive requires the reverser handle to be inserted before operation. Set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel. The large wheel in the center of the desk is the tap changer, which controls power delivery in the locomotive. Before applying any power, be sure to release the brakes. Set the tap changer to the power index you need, and the traction motors will gradually apply the set power. The currently selected tap is shown on the dashboard. Before we can start braking, the tap changer needs to be set back to 0. If the tap changer is not at 0, braking will cause a traction lockout. On level grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing energy consumption and stress on the motors. When coasting, always remain vigilant of the grade, as changes could cause the train to speed up or slow down. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, slow the train using the train brake. You're approaching the stop. Gently begin applying the brakes. There are some freight wagons to couple to in the siding behind you. Change direction with the reverser. Now set the junction indicated, either by walking over to it on foot or using the live map. Nice work. Now you'll need to come to a stop just before the buffers of the freight wagons. Before applying any You will now need to couple the locomotive to the wagons. You can couple or uncouple a locomotive by either interacting with the coupling on foot or by using an external camera view. You will be shown how to use the external camera view. Now move the camera over the couplers and select it. This will successfully couple the locomotive to the wagons. Return back to the first-person camera. Nice job! Now move the reverser into the forward position, release the brakes and apply some power to get the train moving into the indicated siding. Before applying any power, be sure to release the brakes. Nice work. Uncouple the wagons on foot this time. Stand up and climb down from the cab. Good work. That concludes all of the basics of operating this locomotive. In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this DBBR 363 diesel locomotive. During this brief introduction, you will be covering the critical driving controls and freight operations. The BR363 is a 3-axle diesel locomotive. Although its primary use is shunting, it can be used for light goods and passenger services. The 363 was built as an improvement upon its predecessors. The 260s and the V60s, the latter of which were manufactured back in 1955 due to DB's shortage of reliable shunters. The 360 series came about due to a reclassification of the 260s in 1987, changing the engine type to a minor locomotive in order to make training cheaper for the drivers. The 363 was upgraded from a 12-cylinder Maybach GT06 diesel motors to a Caterpillar 12-cylinder diesel engine. Use the master key to unlock the control desk. Press the changeover button to set the active cab side. The reverser is used to set the direction of travel. The brakes in this locomotive are lapped. This means rather than set the exact amount of braking force with the lever, you add and remove pressure. Hold the brake lever in the throttle level in this locomotive is held. You can use the throttle lever to increase and decrease the level that you want to hold. Now start applying some power. On level grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing energy consumption and stress on the motors. When coasting, always remain vigilant of the grade, as changes could cause the train to speed up or slow down. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force. The direct brake is used to apply the brakes only on your locomotive and is faster to apply and release than the main brakes. It is best to use this if you are running as a light locomotive, as you are now. While in the apply state, the brake cylinder or BC gauge will fill. Moving the handle to the hold position will maintain the same level of braking force. Alternatively, you can move it back to the release position to reduce or release braking force. Bring this train to a complete stop by applying an appropriate amount of brake force with the direct brake. This is a good place to come to a stop as you have cleared the junction. The freight wagons are behind you. Change direction with the reverser and change the indicated junction either by walking over to it or using the map. The junction is correctly aligned and you can now couple up to the freight. First, you'll have to lower the coupler, then approach slowly and stop once you have coupled. Don't forget to release the direct brake before you apply power. Nice work. Change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. As you are now coupled to wagons, come to a stop using the train brake. This applies all air brakes in the formation. Good work. That concludes all of the basics of operating this locomotive.